If you act like an animal, we're putting you in a cage. I think this is the general thought process behind the existence of jail. We live in a civilized society and follow expectations of conduct so that we might engage safely and productively together. And if you don't, and fall to more primitive behaviors of self-interest like violence, destruction, and stealing, we will take away some of your human rights and treat you more like the feral animal you are embodying. But as I consider how many incarcerated individuals I've watched scream, kick, cry, defecate inappropriately, and flood their cells with water from the toilet, I wonder how much of a chicken versus an egg situation we have on our hands. Something should be done when people cross agreed upon social behavioral lines, the severe ones anyway. Without consequences, there's no motivation for change. This is known for animals across species. But is this crate and lock tactic not motivation to rebel further, to isolate further, to say goodbye to the society rather than the behavior? If we consider ourselves more evolved than other species, why are we using the same approach of caging and euthanization we do for dogs? Anyway, we know caging and isolation don't fix dogs who bite. If the problem is being too primitive, they need to be trained. Is this how we want to lead by example? How are we teaching each other to parent if this is how we correct behavior as a society? I consider how I would handle it if I were locked up suddenly. I imagine myself going through phases of acceptance, but there would be panic. And I do imagine there would be some sort of extreme agitated behaviors, like screaming and kicking that giant solid steel door. And then I imagine going inward and giving up like caged animals do, and developing the flat affect I've seen on severely depressed patients at the psych hospital. Maybe I would become catatonic. Suddenly, with this thought, I become impressed at the shit smearers who have been in here for years. You will pay attention to me, they demand, by throwing feces through their pass-throughs. They call this gassing, by the way. Just some fun new vocabulary. They're fighters. They're full of energy. It's admirable in a way. I don't know that I would have that in me. Is the fact that I've already disassociated in my thinking, like I'm watching myself at work, rather than participating in this system, a sign that I've already submitted on this side of the bars? I picture myself lying in the corner of my cell, having given up. I'm uplifted by these patients' never surrender, never give up approach to life. I notice myself smiling warmly, admirably at my shit-throwing patient as I stand to the left of his pass-through while the deputy opens it and ensures he's not about to gas me when I go to give him his pills. The deputy looks at me funny. I keep smiling and shrug. Maybe this patient has more to tell us with this behavior than we're giving him credit for. I double-check the MAR and give him the pills like the doctor ordered, like I was trained to do in nursing school. He takes them. Good boy. Good nurse.